Welcome back to yet another episode of Renegades Ramble.
Yeah, I remember playing Twisted Metal 2 on a little 12.
Yeah, like they were this big, little
built-in
bubble back.
VCR.
Yeah, had a little VCR in the bottom.
Yeah. Do it again. Why does it always do that?
Your phone is too loud.
Good one, Ron. Good one. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Renegades React. Today we are going to be looking at some more Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is episode 4. So, last episode, Shinji got just like 2 good shots right in the face. Saved the guy that punched him in the face and his friend. And kind of showed a little bit of balls there. I mean, killing the angel.
Yeah.
Just stupid, acted stupid.
The whole episode, he was just like, I've taken too many Xanax to do this today. And at the end, he's just like, you know what? I'm mad. Stabbed it.
It's like somebody switched my meds. I'm now high on crack. Kill everything!
Yeah, he was like, this is not good right now. I'm going to just do a little more Xanax. So I'm just going to snort it to make it fast, Oh, that was my Adderall.
I can just see, like, his pupils just, like, go wide open, and he's just like, kill everything!
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So yeah, we are now in what they call the meat of the series. Nick has decided to give this a full run. Well, try to give it a full run. I don't know where his opinions will stand in a few, not a few, more like, I don't know, 15 episodes.
Usually if I get 3 episodes in, I'm willing to at least keep going for the most part. Sometimes, see, the problem that I have, and this is when I watch stuff by myself, so I don't think it'll be the same deal here, but the problem that I have is I'll start watching a really long series. Like Naruto, I've gotten basically to the end of the Chunin exams when shit hits the fan twice now.
Yeah. And
I just, for some reason, stop watching at that point. It's not because I'm just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's just like, the last time was actually because I was watching it on Kyra's Netflix account, and then she was like, hey, I'm not using this Netflix account, and it's getting more expensive, and I think I'm going to cancel it. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it wasn't really my choice to stop watching it last time. I actually might have gone farther with it.
Okay.
But just shit usually happens when I'm trying to watch a really long series, and I just kind of either burn out like halfway through and start doing something else instead. Or
That's one thing I fear about, probably one of my favorite ones. I want you to watch called Monster. It's, I think, 70 episodes long, but it rewards people who pay attention.
And say, me and Andrew sat down and we looked up a list and we were like, how to watch without filler. And then we just busted out Bleach. And
oh, God.
Once we got past the point that we felt like was a really good resolution to like the anime series, we watched like 2 more, and then we were like, yeah, like, we just kind of lost interest at that point. So basically, like, like, they've been building up this one specific major antagonist for a very long time. And then there's a very, very large battle. Yeah, and then, once that's resolved,
it's kind of hard to go back.
Yeah, and, like, the fact that we knew that the anime ended before, like, the next, like, major arc kind of got any kind of resolution, it made it hard for us to watch what was left of it. And so we were kind of like, you know what? I think it's best to just pretend that it ends right there. And if we ever want to go past that, we should probably just pick up the books.
Yeah.
Or wait and see if they ever bring the show back,
True. Very true. I mean, you never know. They could.
But that was the longest anime I think I've actually watched, and I still haven't seen all of it because, like I said, we stopped after that, and we left out a bunch of the filler arcs. So
fair enough.
But most of my favorite anime are my favorite anime because they were in a palatable size of episodes that I actually got through them all the way, so I could say that I feel wrong saying that something is one of my favorite things when I haven't seen all of it, if that makes any sense. And I honestly feel kind of weird being like, Tokyo Ghoul is one of my favorite manga when I've still only read, like, I think 12 issues into it. I'm like, I just really like Tokyo Ghoul from what I've read so far.
Okay.
It's like, when I say, like, my favorite of all time, it's usually something that I've seen it all, you know? So it's like Elfen Lied, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
But it's usually the smaller series that I actually managed to get through. So I just, like I said, I just for some reason just stop halfway through on the big series.
That's fair. I
really like Naruto based off of what I've seen so far.
It's just you couldn't.
I need to finish it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, Chunin exam. I think that's not even halfway through the first series.
Yeah, I mean, like the Chunin exam was actually the reason I started watching it and gave it a chance because I was over at Andrew's while him and his ex were watching the written part of the exam.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, just kind of sitting there and we were dicking around and like I can't remember what I was doing, but like I was actually paying attention to it while it was on. And I was just like, the fact that they're sitting in a classroom taking a written test and this is so well written and it's drawing me in so hard actually gives me a new respect for the show. So that point, and then they got to the part, and I saw like the next couple episodes after that, and I was like, I really like this like format that they're doing right now, where you get to see the different ninjas like fight each other and like show off their different powers, and so that made me go back and actually watch it.
Did you see the Rock Lee and Gaara fight?
Yes.
That's the one that really gets a lot of people into the anime.
Yeah, because it's fucking badass.
Oh, it is. I mean, Lee's holding his own pretty good at the beginning. Then he takes the weights off of his legs, and it's just like,
when he drops those,
yeah.
you're just like, oh!
He's just like, that is much better. Now he'll be able to move more freely. And he drops them. And then
it's like how I was taking a couple pounds of weights off. What the shit?
And then
it's like that's some Dragon Ball Z bullshit.
Everyone's face is just like, holy frick! What the hell? Even Gaara was a little bit shocked.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, what the fuck?
And then Lee actually.
And then he starts kicking his ass.
Yeah, Lee actually started.
Like, he's actually hurting him.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking cool.
Like, it is. It's really good. And
yeah, but like that whole part was the part, like up to that point I was just like, nah, I don't want to watch Naruto. Naruto's way too obnoxious. It doesn't really interest me that much.
That's fair.
But I went back after I saw that and watched up to that point and then a little bit past that. All of that's actually really good. It's a pretty good show from what I can tell.
Yeah. It starts to
like people like to be like, it's overrated and stuff, and it's like usually people who say it's overrated haven't actually really given it a fair chance.
Okay, we'll say this for the original series. Stop at episode 120 and then skip to like episode 200 because it's 80 episodes of filler.
Yeah, I was actually watching it with a no filler guide last time I was watching it. And I expected it to be more like there was a lot of stuff that was filler before that point, but it actually goes a really long time without actually doing any filler.
Well, yeah.
There's like maybe one episode of filler like in the first like 70 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, and up until like episode 120 when like the big split happens in the story, that's really it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that does that.
So I think they had like one episode that was like basically just him and what's his name? The Toad Sage.
Yeah.
They were just kind of dicking around for like one episode, but other than that, it was basically all plot.
Yeah, where he tried to get Boss Toad, the
Perfy Sage.
Yeah, Perfy Sage. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah. Anywho.
But anyway, this is not Naruto.
This is Shinji getting the damn robot. Also known as Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Get the fucking robot, Shinji.
So we're gonna put this on screen and we're gonna give it a watch. See what happens. Probably gonna do that weird.
Hopefully
stop and go
Shinji doesn't stay fucking incompetent for this entire series.
One can only hope. It did it. It did it.
Yeah, that's gonna do that every time as long as we're watching it on here.
Yeah.
At least there's only one more episode, and then we can use the discs.
Yeah. Brushing teeth, scratching your leg with your foot. That's awesome.
And you run away?
Oh, you little shit.
For some reason, rain in anime is weirdly aesthetic to me.
え、伝えるわ。じゃ。
これは予想外の展開だ。えらいべっぴんさんやったな。
She can hear you, jackass. I bet they were standing on the outside of the door like, what the hell was that? Honestly, I've been like that. I've just driven around listening to music for God knows how long.
I do that for a little while, but I run low on gas and don't want to waste more.
True. Well, that's public transportation, so it's like...
Yeah, if you could just ride that as long as you wanted to.
Yeah. We've
not really heard much anything about his mom to this far, have we?
Not really. Holy shit! This is a bad acid trip, man! What the fuck is going on? I wish I could say I haven't done that, but I have. I have.
I've never played multiple characters at the same time. I'll usually just like run around and pretend like I have like enemies I'm shooting at and shit, you know, when I was a kid.
He's cooking an MRE kit. RME?
MRE, ready to eat.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So, I mean, it's not so much that he needs that like affection as bad as like he just needs a damn friend.
Huh?
It's like it's not so much that he needs affection so bad. It's like he at least just needs a damn friend, you know?
Yeah, some sort of personal connection. All right. What? Good shot. There it goes.
He's still there.
It's like...
Awkwardly stare at each other for like a full 2 minutes.
Come on. Somebody say something.
God damn.
Okay. Okay. So, I've never blankly stared at someone from across the way for...
I recognize that kanji.
Ah, you do?
The second one at the top is hon.
Hon.
Or at least that's one pronunciation for it. Because if you put,
Ow.
I don't know how to describe them to you, but there's another one that goes before you get Nihon. So it's Japan. So.
There you go. Hey, you're learning. That's a good thing.
A little bit. Then you got down on the third line down, you have some katakana. There's go, I think that's and then to.
Okay. So.
And then that one line on the right side.
This.
I'm not sure if that's extending a sound from that kanji before it. I don't know if kanji work like that. Or if that's what would normally be ichi, which is one. I think it's ichi, but I'm not sure. But yeah, started to recognize some shit. Cool.
That's cool.
Anyways.
Anyway. Hi. This is Evangelion. Episode 4. Whole bunch of just Shinji moping and doping and pretending that, pretending he's got it worse than anybody. I mean, no. I
think if I were to guess, it kind of just seems like he's just a depressed guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it deals a whole lot with the same concept that, of how... You ever seen the movie Good Will Hunting? Okay. In that movie, the main character, Will, he is, he's one of the most...
Robin Williams in it?
Yes.
Maybe I have seen that.
He's a therapist, talks to Matt Damon a lot.
Is there another movie that also has Robin Williams where he's like a teacher, though?
Oh, Dead Poet Society.
Yeah, never mind. I think I've seen Dead Poet Society. I think I've only seen scenes from Good Will Hunting.
Okay. Well, in Good Will Hunting, Will, the main character, played by Matt Damon, is one of the most ingenious individuals that exists on the planet. And the problem is, he doesn't let anybody in, and he never dedicates himself to anything because of how his home life was. Because the two people that you're supposed to trust most in this world, especially as a kid, when you're first born, are your mother and your father. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, it's their mothers. But for some unlucky souls out there, not even your mother stays for you. And I know some people who are like that, and hurts to say that they feel no remorse over their decisions. And that's sad to me. That's actually really, really freaking sad. That being said, Shinji doesn't just have the fact that his mother's not around, but his dad is an unapproachable douchebag and has crazy demands for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, he's trying to, find his place in the world and everything. And he feels that he is in dire need of some sort of companionship, whether that's friendship or, someone to talk to or be close with, someone to share your thoughts with. Because I've been in situations like that where I've had no one to share my thoughts with or anything like that. I basically just put up a front, and I never talked to anybody about my stuff, and it ate away at me. It turned me into a pretty. I was a very unapproachable character, very unapproachable person for a long time, and it took me realizing, hey, my life is only as bad as I make it at this point in my life. I need to stop complaining about everything and actually do something about it. And I did, and here I am. And Shinji, I think if he gets people he can depend on in terms of friendship and in terms of family, I know Misato's not his mom or his sister or or anything else by blood. She's just his caretaker. Now, I know someone who grew up with a person who was just a little bit older than them, taking care of them, who was not related at all. And they weren't sure what to make of that relationship. They weren't sure to call them mother or sister or anything like that. They just called them by their first name. And also another thing Shinji developed in this, he started developing a friendship. At first with Aida, with him out in the woods, out in the tent and everything, and then of course with Toji, whenever he decked Choji a good time with a right hook.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking that with what we have so far, I think this is a good foothold for Shinji to actually start being more social.
Is he basically, like, if you think about the situation, like, modernize it a little more. So you're put in a situation that it's like there's some sort of threat to your home city.
Yeah.
And someone has developed some sort of technology to fight the threat. It's like maybe not necessarily a giant robot, but you suddenly get recruited, and basically your dad is like, yeah, you're the only person that can do this, so you got to do it, or we're all fucked, basically, or we'll just have to look for somebody else, And it's like, but we could die while we're looking for somebody else, so
yeah,
it's kind of on you, boy. And so you have to go out and fight this thing, and you could die anytime you go out there. But you have no friends to talk about the fact. It's like, man, like, I could be dead tomorrow. It's like, this is stressful as fuck. Like, you're going to handle the situation better, like, if you can at least talk to somebody about the shit that's going down, and they can be, like, understanding for you and shit, and at least be like, yeah, man, that sucks. Your dad's an asshole. It's like, but we really appreciate you doing this for us, too, at the same time, man, and make you feel a little bit better about it, too,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and honestly, it's a whole complicated situation with Shinji. I mean, all relationships are complicated once you dig deep enough. I mean, there's a lot of unsettled baggage between me and my mom and my dad that still hasn't been resolved and probably never will. They'll probably both take that with them to their graves. I'll gladly talk about it. It's just, it'd pretty much be a one-sided conversation that no one else would be able to contribute to, because no one else would know except for them. And I can't pretend to know what kind of life Shinji's had, because, well, for one, he's an animated character. He's not real. And two, like you were talking about, if the situation presented itself and, they had the technology to fight back against this terrible thing, and you were told you are one of the only people who can pilot it.
Yeah.
That, to me, would inspire some sort of, not patriotic, but, survival instinct, like, I have the chance to help people. I've always been a person who likes to help and likes to try and open the door and help people. But in that situation, I'd jump at the opportunity. Because, hey, I get to fight in a giant freaking robot.
Yeah, see, I'm a weird guy like that, too, because I would be like, I can pilot a giant robot, fight aliens, be like, I could die doing it, but goddamn, that's badass.
Actually,
it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Actually,
I need $500 per alien that I kill, and I'm good. Like, no, wait. Just, I need to be on a payroll. Like, this needs to be my profession if I'm going to do it. You got to pay me to be here and to train, and just basically just give me a paycheck I can live off of, and I'll do this.
All right. Okay. How does $5,000 a week sound? 10,000.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's like 10,000. Done.
I'll do it for $1,000 a week. Fuck it.
It's like 10,000. Wait, could I have gotten more? Yes. Can we renegotiate? No. Fuck.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So actually, that's a recut of this I'd like to see. Shinji's just sitting there at a table. It's like, so you mean to tell me there's aliens? Yep. And we have the technology to fight them? Yep. And I'm one of the only people who can pilot it? Yep. And that weapon just happens to be a giant fucking robot? Yep. I'm in. Yeah. And then roll credits. It's just. Yeah, it's like, hey, sign me up. And that's it. End of the series right there.
Well, I mean, you can make a series out of that with the actual fights that go on. But,
true, very true.
Just have less of a depressed protagonist.
Yeah, which...
I don't know, it's like, I can basically, like, we have the opportunity to do something similar to this because we could join the military, but it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
Because we're not necessarily fighting against some evil force. We're doing what our government wants us to do and going to kill who they want us to kill, whether that may be small children with bombs strapped to them in the Middle East or, like an evil dictator somewhere. I mean, you never know.
Well, yeah, I'd gladly kill a Hitler. If Hitler were, if there was a rise of the Fourth Reich and a new Hitler came into being, and he had not only aspirations to take over the world, but had succeeded in a lot of ways.
Well, at the same time, you still have some poor schmucks that are fighting on his side simply because they don't want their families murdered or kicked out of the country and stuff like that.
Well, that's so, the tide of war, man.
You're never fighting like just something 100%. That's evil and out to destroy. Whereas like giant robot, evil alien gonna destroy the Earth? Like, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean,
but that's a hypothetical versus a real world scenario.
Exactly.
See, the most real world scenario that we can get is something like that, something like World War II, where there's a true evil bastard.
So that's just me, like thinking like people might ask the question, and be like, "Oh, you say you would definitely fight a giant robot? Why don't you join your military?" Well, that's the reasoning.
Yeah,
that's why.
That is the reason.
I also just don't want to be government property any more than I already am.
Yeah.
Just from being born here.
That's true. That's very true.
Because if you join the military, you are actually government property. Apparently,
you are a cog.
If you like get a tattoo or I can't remember what else. Somebody told me something else crazy. Oh yeah, if you cut your hair. Like if you don't get like a barber cut from the military barber, if you cut your hair in a different way, you can actually get charged with destruction of government property because you're government property at that point. It's like that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, like I just don't want to be in that situation,
dude. I don't want to be in the military if that's going to be the case.
No, if it was like I was actually a contracted like like employee of the military, and it wasn't like your government property. It was like just like I'm an employee. They pay
sort
me.
Like
I fight. I do what they say, and I fight. If I don't do what they say, I get fired. Then it would be maybe a different situation. But
I hear you.
So it's kind of a completely different thing than just like a regular occupation for that reason.
I hear you. And, that'd be well. They do have that. They do have contractors. Like Black Mountain. Yeah. That's one of the most popular ones.
Essentially mercenaries to an extent.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, that's the whole thing, too, because with mercenary work, it's like a lot of them just take, the highest bidder, so you could switch sides next week because somebody offered your company a lot more money or offered you a lot more money, and you may be fighting for something that you believe in, or you may be doing some heinous shit for people because of the money they're giving you, so... That's the whole thing as well. It's moral. Shit, I can't think of the word. Just like a moral.
Ambiguity.
Sometimes ambiguity, and sometimes just morally questionable. Like
morally flexible. Yeah. I hear you.
It's like shit that you don't really want to be doing necessarily. Like, but you kind of have to because your company you work for, or whatever, said that.
Yeah, you have to.
Kim Jong-un offered them more money than anybody else right now. So.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we've been going for a little while on this. We hope that you have enjoyed what you've seen here. And if you want to watch more of
we actually kept our discussion close to the anime this time.
Yeah, we did. Wow.
Interesting.
I don't like it. Just joking. I don't care. So if you all are interested in seeing more from us, feel free to click the link to our Patreon down below. You will see the full you'll be able to see the full reaction if you sign up on there, and all the other full reactions that we've done in the past. So if you want to check those out, feel free. And also, if you want to see more of us as well, there's the subscribe button. There's also our our Discord. And if you want to leave a like on the video, it really helps us out here on the channel. And if you want to subscribe, feel free, and we'll see you in the next one. A peace out.